American entertainment company Netflix, which has won the hearts of many lovers of quality movies and gripping series. For some, Netflix is a whole universe with a huge selection of videos, while others still know nothing about this company. Nevertheless, it is Netflix that is now setting new trends, and gradually even displacing major Hollywood studios. Actually, today I decided to talk about how it all started and how the same in NYC actually appeared. The company's history begins at the end of the last century, more precisely in 1997, when two friends and later colleagues, Mark Randolph and Reed Hastings, founded it. The idea of creating a company had long been in the minds of both, but it was especially strong in Reed's head. It all started not by chance. Once, Reed had to pay a fine of as much as $40 for overdue return of a rented movie cassette. This episode became the catalyst for their enterprise. Reed Hastings was born on October 8, 1960. His parents worked in the administration of President Nixon, which one might say had a favorable effect on his opportunities and prospects. Reed graduated from Cambridge University, where he was an active student and leader of many student initiatives. At the age of 20, he decided to try himself in a new business and enrolled in courses for Marine Corps officers, but later dropped out of school. In 1983, Hastings joined the Peace Corps, an independent agency that sends trained volunteers to remote regions of third world countries as volunteers. There, he spent 3 years teaching mathematics in the small kingdom of Southern Africa, Swaziland. After that, Reed returned to California, continued his education at Stanford University, and received a master's degree in computer science in 1988. His first job was considered to be a developer position in a division of a large American holding company called Adaptive Carp, where he worked on creating tools for analyzing faults and debugging software. In 1991, he, along with two companions, decided to leave the company with only one goal in mind: to start their own business. And that's how PureSoft came into existence, a company specializing in software solutions for troubleshooting. As for the second founder of the company, Mark Randolph, he is 2 years older than Reed and was born on April 29, 1958, in New York, into a family of a nuclear engineer. Thanks to the family's good financial situation, Mark also graduated from the prestigious private Hamilton College, earning a degree in geology. Interestingly, he never worked in his field of specialization. Mark's career began with a job in the Postal Service. In 1988, he accepted a job offer from the giant of the development market, Berlin International, where he created various marketing strategies. He worked there until 1995, after which he headed to Silicon Valley to participate in several promising startups, in his opinion. Mark and Reed met at the end of 1996. At that time, Hastings invited his new acquaintance to take the position of Vice President of Corporate Marketing. At the same time, Hastings' company went public and announced a merger with Adria Soft in 1997. Another merger occurred in 1997 when Software acquired the merged company, Pure Atrio. Hastings was appointed Chief Technical Director but soon left after the acquisition, selling his share for $700 million. It's hard to say whether this decision was difficult for Hastings, as essentially he had built his business from scratch, investing colossal resources and effort. However, he definitely remained in a winning position even after selling his business shares, and with a huge sum in hand, he didn't plan to stop there. He understood that there was still much to be done in the world of digital technologies, and his plans were ambitious. At that time, the bulky VHS format remained the standard for the rental market in the United States, but a more compact and cheaper format of digital cinema on DVD discs had already begun to emerge. DVD players had quickly flooded the consumer electronics market, making working with this format a very promising direction. Hastings realized that it was the most convenient time to start acting, and with Mark's support, he headed to New York in search of investors for their joint venture. It is important to note that the first investors in Netflix were Hastings himself, Randolph's mother, and Steve Kahn, the founder of In the Grid Securities. It is also worth noting that Hastings and Randolph quickly found mutual understanding in their work. The division rental company Netflix was registered in late 1990, and a few months later, on April 14, 1998, a full-fledged website was launched. The company headquarters were set up in an office center in Pskov, California. Thanks to the experience Mark and Reed had acquired by that time, they were able to analyze the market excellently, which in turn helped them understand what their customers wanted. The rental market presented excellent opportunities for broad development. Today, few probably remember the time when there were huge queues in video rental stores, especially when new releases came out. Almost everyone started having VCRs at home, initially with cassette tapes and later with discs. People exchanged, sold and borrowed tapes and discs to see popular movies. Besides theaters, video rentals were the only option. In the developed America, however, the situation was different. All profits were shared between cinemas and rental services. The main idea of their business was that video stores and DVD rental services at that time were extremely inconvenient for customers. Constantly having to run back and forth to pick up and return discs was tiresome. With Netflix, customers no longer needed to visit a physical store to rent a movie. They could simply order any film or series from Netflix's catalog through the mail and make payments using a bank. Connecting to such a service cost only $4 a week, with an additional $2 for postage. Ultimately, renting cost customers only $6 a week or for $20 a month. Subscribers could rent an unlimited number of discs, which were sent to them by mail. To protect themselves from dishonest customers, Netflix simply didn't issue new discs to those who hadn't returned the old ones. Essentially, it can be said that the company fully started earning only by the end of the summer of 1997. The first customers of Netflix were residents of the United States, and the first year of operation was a year of testing the new product. The company hired a staff of just 30 people. The movie and series library contained about 900 titles, and it took the founders almost half a year to establish stable operations. Additionally, one significant advantage Netflix had in the market was that their official website consistently released new movie reviews and announced upcoming series. However, attracting more new customers required a lot of effort. One effective method Netflix used to attract a new audience was the opportunity to rent hot new releases with interesting videos. But of course, it wasn't without problems. The company often received angry letters from customers complaining that the discs arrived scratched or even broken. The disc damage occurred because during sorting at the post office, they were handled not by people, but by special machines that weren't the most efficient at handling items containing discs. During sorting, the machines could easily crush the envelope containing the long-awaited disc that a large family and friends were eagerly anticipating to watch over the weekend. Naturally, customers flooded Netflix with complaints and even cancelled subscriptions. At that moment, the creators realized that a huge crack had appeared in their seemingly perfect model. It was a crack so significant that it could ruin everything they had started. Who knew that robots were used in mail sorting in every state, and sometimes not used at all? Solving the problem globally was practically impossible. For a while, the partners took a break, and then a few days later, they rolled out a solution regarding how to keep the discs intact and safe inside the envelope. Reed and Mark began making special, sturdy, branded Netflix envelopes made of high-quality paper with a reliable disc partition. Of course, these were additional costs, but they didn't plan to deviate from the idea overall. By 1999, Netflix's business model had been established and was based on 3 pillars: a subscription-based service without payment deadlines or overdue fees, unlimited access to content, a queue allowing subscribers to specify the order in which DVDs should be sent by mail, and a zero-fee delivery system. Netflix managed to rent out over 10,000 copies of videos in just a week. This was bolstered by the publicity surrounding Bill Clinton's testimony in the Lewinsky affair, which drew attention to Netflix. The company learned from this experience and began to keenly understand people's needs. This ability saved Netflix many times during challenging periods of development. Soon the company entered agreements with all major Hollywood studios to supply newly released DVD-S, and started building a warehouse base stored in its own distribution centers across the United States. Practically, there was a warehouse in every state where DVD-S was stored, and trained staff worked, allowing for quick delivery of discs to any, even the most remote location on the map of America, reaching places where nobody had set foot before. You can imagine that, for example, in 1998, you ordered DVD-S to a village to your grandmother. And by that time, Everyone already knew the schedules of their favorite cartoons and movies. People in America were already watching new releases, even in the most remote areas, those very releases that reached us only after several months or years. That's how it was, my friends. But let's go back to the story. Gradually, Netflix began to step on the heels of competitors, including the already popular Blockbuster network. Its revenue reached about $5 billion a year, and consumer demand was quickly growing. The hosting leaders understood that staying in the background was not an option. All decisions had to be made quickly and efficiently. They decided to capture the market by offering interesting promotions to attract a large influx of potential customers who could then order new discs. One promotion involved a lottery for a trip to Los Angeles, while another offered customers a 30% discount. If they ordered twice as many discs as the previous month, you might think it wasn't profitable, and you'd definitely be wrong, because I'll tell you it's not like that. Such promotions worked positively in two ways. Firstly, Netflix captured the rental market, and secondly, it increased its user base to boost company sales. Further, Netflix decided to offer even more additional bonuses for customers to do this. It entered into an agreement with Toshiba from Japan. Those who purchased players from this brand received 3 additional discs from Netflix for free. Thus, Netflix significantly increased both the number of DVD subscribers and its audience of loyal customers. By 2003, the company had 600,000 subscribers, and in less than a year, it reached the milestone of 1 million subscribers in 2004, a 50% increase by September 2005. This number had grown to 3.5 million users. However, the competition with Blockbuster was intensifying in 2005. Blockbuster launched its own online DVD rental service, which was a blatant copy of Netflix's model. One of the few differences was the number of available movies and TV shows, with Blockbuster offering up to 25,000 different titles. As a result, Netflix began to experience significant problems immediately after the launch of Blockbuster's new online service, with its audience sharply declining to counteract this. Netflix decided to lower its prices to mitigate customer churn. Meanwhile, Blockbuster attempted to merge its online platform with its physical stores, allowing customers to rent a DVD for free in store and then return or exchange it by mail. However, this strategy did little to help Netflix, which still struggled to maintain its position in the face of fierce competition. The rivalry between Netflix and Blockbuster continued until 2010, when Blockbuster declared bankruptcy. It might sound strange, but it further demonstrates that money sometimes matters less than creative ideas. At the time of Netflix's inception in 2000, it had only about 300,000 subscribers receiving DVD-S by mail, and the company was operating at a loss in light of this. Netflix's leadership proposed that Blockbuster require 49% of Netflix for $50 million. According to the proposed conditions, Netflix was supposed to be renamed to Blockbuster.com and focus on online sales, while Blockbuster itself would handle DVD acquisitions and delivery to become less dependent on the US Postal Service. However, at that time, Blockbuster merely laughed at its seemingly insignificant competitor, and of course the offer was rejected. But in just 12 years, the young and ambitious competitor destroyed them. 2007 marked a milestone in Netflix's history. The company launched its own streaming platform, a service that offers users a wide selection of movies and TV shows. Its main advantage was that any Netflix customer could simply log in, select the desired series, season, and episode, and enjoy watching. But the main advantage of streaming platforms, including Netflix, was that the company ordered entire seasons of TV shows for production. This meant that viewers could easily binge-watch an entire season of their favorite show in one day, without waiting for new episodes to come out weekly. In 2008, Netflix signed agreements with consumer electronics companies for streaming on Xbox 360 game consoles, Blu-ray disc players, and TV set-top boxes. And by 2010, the company began expanding its boundaries. The platform became available in Canada and Western Europe, and shortly afterward, it opened up to Latin American countries. In 2015, the company's services became available to users in Japan, New Zealand, and Australia. It soon became evident that to increase profits and the number of users, they needed to create their own content. In 2013, Netflix entered into a partnership with Marvel Television. Together, they began producing series about Daredevil, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. Marvel is very popular worldwide, so the collaboration had a positive impact on Netflix's development. The two companies signed a 5-year contract, and later, Netflix also reached an agreement with Disney to stream the 6th season of the Clone Wars animated series. Additionally, Netflix's original content production yielded excellent results. In 2013, Hastings led the company into uncharted territory by introducing its first original TV series, House of Cards. The show received 9 Emmy nominations and won 3 of them, competing with a number of traditional shows. By the end of 2013, Netflix's stock price had tripled, and its net income reached $112 million. In the year, the audience had already exceeded the threshold of 33 million users. Following House of Cards, Netflix released the Mexican series Club of Crows for streaming. Meanwhile, they were also working on filming their first full-length feature film. A distinguishing feature of Netflix is its decentralization and distribution of responsibilities. There's no single person responsible for launching a project. Instead, several individuals from different areas make independent decisions. The content director created a unique system where Netflix operates like 15 semi-independent production companies. The results of their work are reflected in the projects launched. Unfortunately, Netflix does not provide data on the most popular series due to the inability to count the exact number of views since multiple people can use one account. Nevertheless, we definitely want to highlight the most popular series that everyone is talking about today. Of course, The Crown, depicting the life of the most famous royal family, takes first place. Following it is House of Cards, a project revealing the backstage of the White House. Additionally, series like Narcos, Stranger Things, and Black Mirror are among the top 5. Unfortunately, it sometimes happens that beloved and popular series are simply cancelled, despite good reviews from critics, which are not criteria for starting production of a new season. For Netflix, the most important thing is the number of viewers watching a particular series. The Netflix story continues successfully to this day. According to the results of 2020, the company increased its subscriber count to 148 million, an astonishing result. This number of users is 2 million more than the entire population of the Russian Federation. According to Netflix's latest quarterly report, the company attracts around 8 million new users each quarter, and its net income has exceeded $2.7 billion. In 2020, Netflix's turnover reached $25 billion, setting record figures. Achieving such financial performance was made possible by the success of many of its original series. The company combines an excellent business strategy with the application of the latest streaming technologies. Through quality content, Netflix continues its growth in the video service market. It's worth noting the number of awards the company has received for its series. For example, the film Roma received 15 nominations for the Academy Awards, winning 3 Oscars for Best Director, Cinematography, and Best Foreign Language Film. The film was just one step away from winning an Oscar. It received 3 nominations. Additionally, Netflix snagged 2 nominations in the short documentary category. However, scandals were not far behind. For instance, Steven Spielberg criticized Netflix's productions, stating that Netflix movies should not be eligible for Oscars. Spielberg argued that Netflix films are more suited for streaming platforms than theaters. Despite the criticism, Netflix continues to attract renowned actors, directors, and filmmakers to create high-quality and captivating films. Overall, Netflix is a unique business project with a rich history, prioritizing user interests above all else. Employees strive to ensure that viewers enjoy their favorite series, movies, and shows. The company offers users worldwide quick access to interesting films and series. The vast selection of content on Netflix is so immense that one lifetime is not enough to watch it all. Users from any corner of the globe can find something interesting to watch. Subscription prices are quite affordable. Currently, Netflix is increasingly taking a share of Hollywood studios' film production and the market of major film distributors and theaters. The business founders themselves say there is still much to strive for, as the market changes every year, requiring constant vigilance. Friends, I hope I haven't forgotten anything, but if I have, please correct me in the comments. And of course, Share your thoughts on what you've heard and whether you use any streaming service. But for now, that's all. If you liked the video, please rate it. And until next time, goodbye.